In the Middle Ages, there were people that were marginalized, that were sick, that were orphaned, that were widowed, and they needed to be taken care for. And so the church stepped up to the plate. They recognized that God had called us to be people of hospitality. And so they stepped up in a very real way. And we're seeing the results of one of the ways they stepped up nowadays. That's our hospitals. The church stepped up and they stepped into these areas where people were sick and hurting and needed to be cared for. And people were like, I don't want to have anything to do with them. I don't want to touch them. But the church said, no, we believe that God has called us to care for them. We believe that God cares for them, and we believe that God will protect us, protect them, heal us, and heal them. And so we want to be a physical embodiment of God to these people. That's what the church was known for in the Middle Ages. And we're seeing the results of that today. My question is, what do we think the church is going to be known for nowadays? When we look at the 2020, 2021, even looking ahead at next year, 2022, what are we going to be known for? And I would love to offer you a thought, an insight. It's an analogy. It's not going to be perfect, and it's my thoughts. It doesn't have to be your thoughts, but I wanted to share them with you as a means for us to have conversation and to think. I personally don't think we need any more hospitals. We have enough hospitals. And our government in some ways has even stepped up to the plate. And whether you agree with that or disagree with that, or there could be more things done or less things done, it doesn't matter. The point is we have hospitals. What I think we need now, honestly, are museums. You see, museums are really interesting. Museums are a place where culture is celebrated, where difference is celebrated. And museums don't always celebrate bad things. You look at some things that are displayed in a museum, like for example, a Holocaust museum, and you wouldn't say these are things that we are celebrating. But what we're doing is we're remembering what has been done, and we're saying we don't want to do that again. In some museums, we're celebrating great things that have been done. I think about the museums that have the Wright brothers plane or the first car by Ford, and we're like, these are great things. Museums do that. They celebrate the good and the bad. It's equal playing field for people, and when we come in there and into these spaces, we observe and we look and we have conversations about what we can do moving forward, looking at the past, looking towards the future, looking at the now. I think we need that. I think difference is scary, and difference is what's causing division. But what we know is actually difference is normal. Psalm 139 says that we all are fearfully and wonderfully created in the mother's womb. God has designed each of us to be different. Different is normal. Whether there's people that are in the government that I agree or disagree with, whether somebody says something I agree or disagree with, can I not have that posture where I look at people and go, I might not see or understand everything that's going on, but I recognize that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and perhaps there's something in what you are saying that can be of benefit to me. Perhaps you being in that position, even though it's not something that I would have wanted or I did want, maybe I can still honor you and trust again that God has fearfully and wonderfully created you, and you are supposed to be in that spot. Can we be a place like that? I want to be a museum. I want to be a curator. I want to be someone where people look at me and look at the things I'm doing and say, wow, he must really care about people. He must really celebrate people. And I'm not doing a perfect job at that. I fully admit that. Sometimes I say things that aren't in line with that heart. And when I do that, I want to own it, and I don't want to apologize. But my heart is truly to be someone that celebrates people, trusting that God has everybody in process, that where we start is not going to be where we end. And I want to journey with people. What's going on in our country right now, it's heartbreaking, not because of a side. I'm not taking a side. What's going on is these pictures and these videos that we're seeing, regardless of the side, it's a reality in America, and I am heartbroken about it. We are forgetting that we all are different, and different isn't bad. Different is normal, and we don't have to fear and lash out and fight. Church, can we be that? Can we be like a museum or a place where we celebrate people, where we say our differences don't have to divide us? We all have one Father, one God who cares for us and deeply loves us and is calling us to himself. And the challenge for us is, we can't be a museum for the world if we can't be a museum for each other. So will you join me in trying to make the world a little bit better?